cheeks.
Oh, bumpy and crazy.
Kind of like, NASCAR in the water.
You'll probably get the breath knocked out of you.
On board, in motion again.
Oh,
Oh, they've gone over!
Up top, they are staying right alongside.
Whoa!
This is Harry racing. If
Tommy Bahamas pulled to the inside. Oh, they almost hit together.
oh, wait a minute, we have an accident. Oh, they came back into Offshore Dictionary. Look at how they're flying the boat. Oh, he tripped it right there. You can see it.
Wow. They are still in the lead despite the damage to that boat, and they're going to try to hold on to the trampoline on ice.
Oh, oh, you can see again how hard they go. A little bit harder. Oh, he stuck the nose in. He's doing it on purpose. He's trying to push John Thomason, and he pulled her out. Oh, but they're not having any of that. They move back to the inside. He cuts across his wake as they dash to the finish line.
In motion again. Whoa! Talk about quiet.
Get there. Here we are on board Chicks Beach. You can see how hard they're hitting.
Oh, but they have passed up. How sweet it is.
APBA, American Powerboat Association Offshore. We're having a tremendous season so far here in 2002. Welcome to our mid-season race highlight program. I'm your host, Jamie Little. Coming up, you're going to see some of the best offshore powerboat racing you've ever seen on television. Top competitors are battling it out for that championship as we head into the second half of our series.
There you see how sweet it is off to the right side.
Whoa!
2002 has seen offshore powerboat racing taken to a new level. With faster boats, tighter turns, and shorter courses, fans have never been so close to the racing action. With up to 1,600 horsepower and speeds approaching 140 miles per hour, these are the fastest offshore powerboats in the world. I'm joined by Martin Sanborn, former national and world champion throttleman, also one of the faces and voices of APBA Offshore Series. Martin, what a series it has been so far. Unbelievable crashes, spectacular racing.
The thing that comes to mind is that spectacular racing we've had all year long. We've caught some stuff on film that I've never seen in offshore powerboat racing before. Deck-to-deck battles, long races where these guys are running side by side for the entire race. It makes it absolutely fantastic to watch. But that deck-to-deck racing creates some interesting situations as these boats get close and ultimately too close and create some collisions.
That's right, and it all began in Daytona Beach, Florida. What do you remember the most from that race?
Well, Daytona Beach, everybody expected it to be really rough. It was tremendously rough last year. We showed up this year. It laid down a little bit, but it set a perfect groundwork for the Factory 1 race where Typhoon Racing and Propco ran deck-to-deck for almost a photo finish at the first race of the season.
Flashwave is out in the lead right now, has taken the lead right from the green flag.
Look at Typhoon Racing making the move to the inside, actually challenging for first place right now against Flashwave, who's been dominant all afternoon.
Oh, we love Daytona. That was a rough race for us. It was the first race of the year. It took us about 5 laps to get up to first place. We really earned it. Thanks to Randy. They're pushing down on the throttles.
These guys came into that turn. Look at how Typhoon, they hung it up real loose, but then set the boat really tight. And you know that Flashwave was trying to find that extra little bit of speed, and he didn't get the boat all tightened up going to the turn. He was too loose. Couldn't turn the boat when the boat's loose.
Flashwave doing a great job. You can see both the driver and the throttleman holding in. We had a
there goes Offshore Addiction coming across. Oh, that looks like Typhoon Racing in the lead has now dropped out.
Unfortunately, we broke down, but at least we were in the lead when we went down. Great race.
And now it looks like Flashwave's in the lead, but this looks to me like Propco coming up right through the middle.
Propco has now got the speed on, and they are moving up into second place. Propco is doing a great job.
I can tell you that the guys at Flashwave are looking over their shoulder, looking at this other boat coming around alongside. Look at the big air right alongside them as they make their way across, as Propco moves themselves to the first place.
Propco has just come on so strong, back in the pack on the green flag lap. Flashwave now just trying to hold on, see if they can possibly get an advantage. They didn't get it there as we see Propco continue to put a little distance.
APBA Offshore Factory Racing presented by Donzi Marine.
Then we we had the Super V class where Nick Carter Racing made their debut, gave Media Master a run for their money, probably shocked the heck out of Media Master because Nick Carter took home the win. And of course you can relate to this class because this was your class.
Super V is my passion. I love it. And watching Nick Carter Racing come out, Bob Carter, Nick Carter getting into this team, bringing Steve Oropeza and Lee Murray to the throttle and the wheel on that boat. First race out of the box, ran deck to deck for almost the entire race, inching it out, winning by a few boat lengths at the end. It was a spectacular race.
These boats are dead even for the lead in Super V. Media Master, the white boat on the inside, the blue boat on the outside is Nick Carter Racing.
What a great race we have going on here. Nick Carter Racing maybe going a little bit wider than they wanted to go out there on an outside turn. They lost a little bit of ground. Media Master running very well. Look at the difference in the two strategies of these throttle and trim in these boats.
As they set up now, you see Media Master off to the right-hand side of Nick Carter Racing, right through the cockpit, and they are back, neck and neck, nose to nose. You need a camera to separate those boats, and I don't even know that would do it.
Here they come, Nick Carter Racing just behind. He's got every bit of power again, but look at how the two boats are running differently. Nick Carter Racing very flat. Greg's got that every ounce of speed he can get out of his outer limits running, but he is currently just nosing ahead of Nick Carter Racing.
Every time Nick Carter Racing pulls up in there, he just kind of noses enough speed to get ahead of him in number 95. Nick Carter Racing is the blue boat on the outside, and the white boat on the inside is Media Master.
They are staying right alongside.
Whoa!
This is hairy racing. If either one of these two guys makes a mistake, they are going to hit. It takes only a hiccup, and there's going to be an impact when they're that close together in turns in Big V bottom.
And neither one of them are letting off the power. There you see Media Master grabbing the water first and getting a little bit of an advantage in acceleration. Nick Carter Racing right on the outside of him, and he's not letting him get away at all. He's coming up again.
What a great race. These guys have 100 miles to go, and they're racing deck to deck like this the whole way.
Nick Carter Racing team has taken the lead. They are going to try to hold off Media Master. The checkered flag is in view for Nick Carter Racing. Boy, they have put on a show out here for the folks of Daytona Beach, Florida. Steve Oropeza, the driver, Lee Murray on the throttles. You can see the helicopter getting right over the top of them as they come by the big pier. They'll get the checkered flag. Yeah, you bet they're happy.
Boy, what a way to open up a season and a career for an offshore racing team as Nick Carter Racing in their debut event in Daytona Beach takes first place.
And then you have the Super Cat Light class where there was a three-way battle, but it started off in confusion.
Boy, who would have thought it would have ended up the way it did? Zip Express early in the race, cuts across the fleet, misjudges a turn, ends up very short on it, but they end up side by side for a three-way battle in Super Cat Light.
As they make their way to turn one. Whoa, he just hammered in motion.
Left field, left field. I got it. No, it's left. Left. Up there. That's what I'm saying. Left, listen to me. Good. What are you doing?
Obviously, their concentration rattled as they went through there, watching over their shoulder, thinking critical lift, didn't see him, went right across the field, cut off two boats in the process, made a bad turn, cost him a lot of ground. Dan Francis was obviously upset with that action. He is now driving like a man possessed. Look at him running down in motion. He is a man on a mission. He has got that boat on kill. Obviously, as you saw by the end boards, he was really upset with that move.
Zip Express has just about evened up. In motion is on the outside. In the middle is Zip Express.
Look at how sweet it is coming from the inside. He is almost deck to deck. He's making a run. Look at that new boat run. He is now deck to deck alongside In Motion. Zip Express out in the lead. I wouldn't be surprised to see this How Sweet It Is boat really come to life on this next lap.
They are now number one In Motion. Number two, Zip Express cutting tighter on the turns and cutting even tighter inside is How Sweet It Is in third.
Boy, How Sweet It Is cutting really sharp inside and still maintaining their speed. And they're almost in a straight line, three across right now. Look at How Sweet It Is putting a move on right now, coming back up into second place. He is putting a run on for Zip Express. He is moving to the lead.
Zip Express now has about a nose, but that's about it, and there goes In Motion again. Meanwhile, on the inside, here comes How Sweet It Is. How Sweet It Is going to take the lead just barely, and he's getting by. He's now got almost a boat length on the rest of the field. Second place is Zip Express, and back in third on the far outside is In Motion again.
Yeah, it was very, very competitive out there in that rough water, and we just we didn't quite have enough oomph get out in front of them, but we did all right.
How did you manage?
Held it wide open the entire time. Very seldom let off. Lucky we didn't break a drive.
Drambuie on ice coming out in the Super Cat class, proving why they have the #1 on the side of their boat. But of course, hidden agenda. This is a new team with a rookie throttleman, Chris Carmody, coming through and having a very positive showing.
You know, Chris Carmody came out here. He had a lot to prove. He steps into the throttle seat with no experience. This is his first race in offshore competition after the tragic death of his brother last year in Corpus Christi. But he finishes 4th place overall in his first race in APBA offshore competition.
Drambuie on ice leading in the Super Cat race. They have taken it from the green flag and they are holding on to it.
Here we go on board with the John Thomason and Hugh Fuller. And now we're right back watching WHM and Tommy Bahama battling it out. And Tommy Bahama on the outside of WHM Motorsports as they make the right-hand turn.
The Tony event was really good for the Tommy Bahama boat in the middle. It could have probably had a better result. We were second from the green flag. We chased Drambuie for a long time. I thought there's an opportunity we might be able to catch him. We were making up a little bit of distance.
Tommy Bahama has opened it up.
Any one of these boats has the capacity to win, but today it's been Drambuie and ice from flag to flag.
But they better watch out. We just told you Tommy Bahama clicked off a 100-mile-per-hour lap. There you see that boat. They are driving strong and driving hard.
Go. He doesn't want to go. We're out. We lost the starboard end.
Boy, unfortunately, there we heard they lost the starboard motor. That takes Tommy Bahama out of the running.
However, we had a mechanical breakdown. We didn't finish, and it really hurt us in the point situation.
Inside the hidden agenda boat that you see on the inside of the race course right there is a veteran driver in Jamin Jones. But on the throttle is a guy who lost his brother in the same sport about a year ago in Corpus Christi, Texas, in a very tragic accident. What is going through his mind as he wants to win this race?
Daytona, first race ever. I really needed to take that race and learn how to race. And we did, and towards the end of the race, I was really starting to get control of the boat. And after I went back and reviewed the tapes, then I started realizing I was missing a step in the control of my trim, and that competitive nature about you kicks in. Even though I was happy with a 4th place finish, I was unhappy because I felt like I could have done better had I a little bit more experience under my belt.
Hidden Agenda has just moved ahead of Team Virgin. He has now taken the lead from Team Virgin. He is now in 4th place. 4th place on a rookie team. That is amazing.
And in Super Cats, trying to hold off WHM Motorsports for the checkered flag, US 1, Drambuie on ice, and there it is. The checkered flag flies, the fist goes in the air from Hugh Fuller, but that's not all. This is the big story. The rookie throttleman, Chris Carmody, coming home in 4th place in his very first place ever.
Maiden boys, I got me a virgin.
There you see Hidden Agenda. That boat came in 4th place. Isn't there some sort of a tradition that goes with it?
Oh, there he goes swimming. You know, he was getting pounded by his crew. At least they were being thoughtful enough to make sure he didn't have a wallet in his pocket. But that is a tradition for a well-run first race as he goes swimming. The 2002 APBA Pro Series presented by Mercury Racing, the official stern drive of the Factory and Super Cat Series and the title sponsor of the Constructors Cup. Mercury Racing, where the race never stops. One Factory Constructors Champion.
The second stop of the 2002 Pro Series was in Marathon, Florida. Thousands of fans showed up and packed the historic 7-mile bridge. And if they got too hot, they got a spray from the boats as they passed them by.
That 7-mile bridge rolled out the new APBA Offshore stadium-style racing format where you were actually looking down as the boats as they went by. And the other thing that comes to mind about Marathon is where we saw some really close racing. In fact, they got a little bit too close starting in the Factory 1 race.
The team on board Typhoon is having a problem. They are pushing the throttles up and down, trying to get that engine to catch. Looks like a bad problem for that boat. Oh boy, they are really sweating it out, and that is not a good sign. They have lifted the engine hatch.
Well, the bad part about that, Dick, is that they are lifting the engine hatch, and you see the boats in the background taking off. They are not going to hold this start for them. That is part of offshore racing. They've got to get that boat running and get into the hunt.
And there you can see the boats are already underway, and it looks like Typhoon has got that hatch down. Boy, you want to talk about an adrenaline rush. This is it right here.
Well, these guys are in a catch-up mode right now. They know that the start's about ready to happen, and they have got to do everything they can to get back up into the pack, but the green flag is probably going to start before they get up into the line.
We broke at the start of the race. We had to make up all kinds of ground.
And there goes the green flag. We are off and racing at Factory 1. And right off the bat, we've got a bunch of boats, and they're all going to try to get inside in the first turns.
Here they come across into turn 1. You can see these guys all holding their line. Velocity takes a great line on the inside.
Oh, wait a minute, we've had an accident.
Oh, Patriot comes right across and gets tagged by the Propco boat, and we have a driver in the water. It looks like out of Propco as they went completely sideways coming through the turn, and after that, Patriot goes over and slams into Offshore Addiction.
Martin, let's take a look again at how that accident happened.
Well, here we have on the outside, Offshore Addiction's got a good clean line. He's heading to the outside. You see Patriot on the middle. He's going to dive onto the inside, but you have Flash Wave coming to the outside. They both tried to pick a bad line, and it ended up throwing Patriot into Offshore Addiction. Boy, you can hear the impacts of those boats pound together, but in the meantime, these guys are trying to get their boat started. You've got a guy in the water. It's amazing that he didn't get hit from behind. And one of the other big problems that I saw there is that that Popco boat kept on going. It did not stop. They are supposed to have a kill switch on to prevent that boat from going.
Those are one of the safety issues they'll certainly address as we look at it again. You can see the line the inside boat takes. Patriot really has nowhere to go. He tries at the last moment to avoid it. I'll tell you who was lucky. Offshore Dixon saw it, and that was a glancing blow as opposed to a T-bone.
That could have been a lot worse. Lance Henderson got himself out of the way of that incident, but you see Patriot diving to the inside, and you see Propco trying to get to the outside, and those two guys just didn't see each other coming. They hit. Fortunately, they hit side by side, but here you're going to get a chance to see Carruth get thrown out of the boat. He goes over the transom. There he is, totally upside down. This is an incredibly violent thing.
Typhoon, meanwhile, is the beneficiary because Typhoon was trying to catch the rest of the pack and got by the accident. But look at how he's fighting that wheel. You talk about guys hanging it out on the racer's edge. Those guys are doing it.
We came back and just started picking the boats off one at a time.
Typhoon is trying to chase down BJ Maher right now in 4th place.
Glenn Murray and Randy Schust, two New Jersey guys, are now moving it up, and it looks like they're going to be able to take over 3rd place from dead last.
We were on the racer's edge, and boy, was that an exciting race.
That was a little too close for my liking, but Martin, you've been there before. You get ejected from the boat. What exactly are you thinking as you're coming up and you know boats are going by you?
That's all you're thinking. You know you got boats behind you. This always happens in a turn, so you know that it's hard to see anyway. It's always challenging. And in this case, we just had a guy ejected from the boat. But as we're going to see in the Super Cat Light race coming up, we had a rollover, but they landed right side up.
Here's the 2nd place boat, the Eliminator, named How Sweet It Is.
Now, one thing about the power in these boats are both running the same power as the Factory 1 boats. They're Mercury 500 EFIs with Bravo configurations as we watch these two boats running deck to deck, and they're actually putting on a good run to Bacardi Silver that has significantly more horsepower as we go on board How Sweet It Is.
All right, we have John Peterson and Brent Leach, and they are in. Oh, they've gone over!
Upside down as they go through the turn a little bit too hard, probably trying to push as they know that they're racing against the Bacardi Silver boat. Go into that turn a little bit hard. The boat does a complete 360, lands right side up. Here we see Brent Leach reaches up and pulls the canopy down. The first thing he's probably trying to do is restart that engine because they did indeed land right side up. Let's see what happened as we watch a replay of how that boat went over. Here they're coming into the turn. The boat's hopping just a little bit. It looks like he has a good set, but he hooks the sponson right there and the boat goes over. You see it go completely inverted. Now this all happened in a matter of a fraction of a second, but I can tell you when you're inside that boat and it's going upside down, it seems to take forever, Dick.
Well, the onboard cameras also give us a good idea of why the canopies are so important on these boats.
The story of the day is one of the boats that rolled over, the How Sweet It Is boat. Those guys rolled that boat over yesterday and broke it real bad. They tore the transom of the boat off, lost the engine hatch. Those guys spent the entire night at Home Depot last night using the Home Depot people and West Marine getting all the materials they need. They put that boat back together and they're out on the race course today.
He was doing a good job out there, and I was, he told me to slow down, but I thought we could just go a little bit longer and then start to pull out of it, and I was wrong.
The premier race on Sunday, the Super Cat class, some of the tightest, best racing we've seen. Martin, you've been in this industry a long time. What was your take on the racing?
It was unbelievable. You had a deck-to-deck battle going on between WHM Motorsports and Drambuie on ice. From the restart at the yellow flag, these guys were duking it out, slicing back and forth behind their wakes, but it was WHM Motorsports holding off Drambuie for a photo finish at the end.
The battle is on between WHM Motorsports and Drambuie on ice. WHM, the yellow boat, Drambuie on ice, through the booster tail.
Oh, Drambuie on ice moved to the outside, but WHM Motorsports sees him. WHM is moving over a little bit. Look at the speed Drambuie on ice is taking up. WHM Motorsports is going really wide on this turn. He's doing it on purpose. He's trying to push John Thomason and Hugh Fuller out. Oh, but they're not having any of that. They move back to the inside. He cuts across his wake as they dash to the finish line, but WHM it looks like he's going to hold the lead.
WHM Motorsports comes across to take the checkered flag, and it's by less than a boat length from the Drambuie on ice. Great job in driving by Billy Moff. Great throttling by Joey Impression.
Me and Joey have always been known to be rough water races, and we thank Mercury for really helping us out. We're not well known for being flat water races. You got people on the bridge, they wanted to see your show. Let's give them the show. I'm from New York, and people from New York know how to make a show. Marathon was like a dream, flat water. We show up there, we say, uh-oh, this ain't all water. Next thing you know, we win. We still can't figure it out.
We were at turn 3, the right-hander, and I had the lane, and I had the lead, and I could have slammed the door. And Johnny thought, nice, Johnny, we should be nice. If not, we're going to probably take 2 boats out of the race. We'd probably just wind up in a ball of mess out there. So we left in the lane, and, you know, they're gentlemen, and we were trying to be gentlemen, too. And we came out, and they got the corner, and they beat us, and they kind of chopped us off at the next corner, and I didn't have anywhere to go. So it was tight, but it was good, close racing, and if anybody was going to beat us, it might as well be Billy and Joey, but, you know, makes it interesting. We're tied, I guess, dead even now, so makes it interesting going into Cape Cod.
Were disastrous, but it made for great racing. There was a lot of damage and waves up to 8 feet high, Martin.
Well, there was damage to the boats, damage to the teams. You take a hell of a pounding when you're out in 8-foot waves, and we got a chance to see that starting with the Super V lights. Length is everything in this rough water, and Nigel Hook again, he is a veteran. He's one of the best out there, and he's running that boat really well. But look at Rick Trammell moving up on the inside. He's got the speed on him on that in that 38-foot boat that he's running.
Despite the tremendous air these boats are gathering in, especially the Pier 57, it looks like Rick Trammell is able to find the power, and now he's going to pull that boat into first place, tight on the turn as he goes around the pin, holds it right in there. Nigel Hook forced to go to the outside, falls back just a little bit.
Boy, it looks to me like the Pier 57 boat slowing down a little bit. I'm looking at the bottom of the boat. It looks like there's a little bit of a color change on the bottom. I wonder if there's something wrong. You can see that he's slowing down a little bit. Here comes Nigel Hook. He's running great. Nigel and John Hanna, they are running that boat very well. Here they come. It looks like they are going to take first place, Dick. What a great run for the Lucas Oil. Nigel Hook, John Hanna, first place in Super V Light Twin.
Well, what happened to them was good things. What happened to Pier 57, Martin, not so good.
Wow, look at the bottom of Rick Trammell's beautiful boat. We thought we saw when it was coming in. The bottom looked a little different. Looks a lot different from here.
Hit a few bumps. Hit a few bumps and maybe hit a little crap job to get it started. Then the water keeps hydraulic. And we almost won. We lost by. Okay.
You were still running with this like that?
Finished
You kept running like this?
Yeah, we didn't know.
You didn't even know it was like this?
No, not at all. We just it was about 20 feet from the line. The motor stopped on the starboard motor. So we made it to the finish line and we looked and I said, we need to get to shore now.
We were slowing down a little bit and I said, something's going wrong here, Rick. And we started slowing down a little bit more. And then we started hearing all kinds of noises and I said, Rick, you know, I think we're losing some pieces of the boat. He goes, don't worry about it. It'll be okay. Just got another couple of laps to go. So we just kept going, and we found out there were a lot of things missing on the bottom.
One team that excelled in Cape Cod in that rough water was Team Donzi, taking home their first victory in the Factory 2 class.
This couldn't have been better for Team Donzi. Donzi Marine, the Factory Series sponsor for APBA Offshore Pro Series. These guys all season long been screaming for some rough water. They got rough water here. They stepped up to the plate and took a first place finish.
Well, this is what we waited for. We totally took the boat apart, put it back together. We torqued, we tightened, we replaced. We anticipated rough water in Cape Cod for our first checkered flag, and we got what we wanted.
What a battle we've got. Now Donzi has taken over from Total Marine Racing, so the Donzi team has gone out in front. Doug Ballantyne and Mike Stancombe, look at them in Team Donzi. They have taken over the lead. This is a team that really likes the rough water, and they've got it today. Team Donzi, they're already waving at the helicopter. Checkered flag flying high. This will be the first win for Team Donzi, and they've got it. Mike Stancombe and Doug Ballantyne, what a job they did.
What a tremendous victory for Team Donzi.
They predicted the win, and they got it. Team Donzi.
Way to go, guys. How did it feel out there? And how does it feel to be number one?
Rough.
Rough.
Feels good. Number one always feels good.
It does, doesn't it?
We worked real hard for
So what'd you do to win? What was the
We did
secret?
our homework.
Prepared.
Prepare. We
That's
wanted
what you
rough
did. You
water.
won
We got
it.
a rough water. I told you what was.
Finally, they broke again.
Yeah, they had a couple pieces come off the boat. Make sure you watch for that in this upcoming segment.
How Sweet It Is has led from the green flag. Brent Leach and John Peterson doing a great job, but remember this was a boat damaged in the last race, and they are really putting that hull to the test in this race.
Look at how they're flying the boat. Oh, he tripped it right there. You can see a piece of the boat fly up. Let's watch it again. Here he trips it, puts the nose right through a wave, and there you see the piece of the boat coming off the back. Wow.
They are still in the lead despite the damage to that boat, and they're going to try to hold on. Meanwhile, the hatch covers have come up on How Sweet It Is. You can see in motion again. Whoa! Talk about quiet.
It was really nasty. It was really choppy. You couldn't time anything, and just out of the wind, just in a millisecond, there was a big 8-foot hole.
I'm on it. Right now, don't get.
Jerry Sorrentino, Joey Broughton, and they are groaning in that boat. They are taking such hard hits, but they have passed up How Sweet It Is. There you see How Sweet It Is off to the right side with the canopies up. In motion again, has gone into the lead.
With every single hit, they're hosing down How Sweet It Is right now. I think the in-motion guys smell blood. You know, for all the talk about them taking it easy and being careful, looks to me like they threw caution to the wind. They smelled that blood in the water. They went ahead and captured the opportunity. And
On the rough water, taking home their second win of the series.
They had a tremendous race going all day long with Tommy Bahama chasing them along, as well as WHM Motorsports. But get a chance to see here how Hidden Agenda makes a tremendous run up until they break a drive.
Drambuie on Ice is breaking away from the pack. It looks like Drambuie on Ice is trying to set the pace. Meanwhile, Tommy Bahama is battling WHM. WHM now takes a little bit of a lead in second place.
Looks like Paul Nimchop was going to move to the inside a little bit. Here he's got the Santa Chevrolet coming to the outside, squeezing him just a little, or coming from the outside, squeezing him a little bit. Tight racing.
Boy, it is tight right down to it. The Santa Chevrolet now in the center. And then look at Hidden Agenda. Hidden Agenda coming up on the outside. WHM Motorsports trying to hold on to second place against the leader, Drambuie on Ice. Drambuie on Ice just out of your screen. Look at this battle for second, third, and fourth. You're on board Hidden Agenda. That boat being driven by Jammin' Jones. Chris Carmody is on the throttle.
How's the buoy? We just broke. We just broke a drive.
Johnny Tomlinson, Hugh Fuller from the US 1, Drambuie on Ice. They took the lead right off the green flag and left the battle behind them for second place between WHM Motorsports and the Tommy Bahama boat.
Cape Cod was all water. But that's my fault. I said to Joey last minute, put the 5-blade props on. He said we run best with the 4 blades. Joey, put the 5 blades on. Let's run the props. No one to blame but me.
Against Tommy Bahama. This time Tommy Bahama moves up into second place. Whoa!
Cape Cod was one of the biggest water events I've ever seen. In regards of the conditions were extremely rough. It was very difficult. We got a good result. We came in second. It was our first finish of the year. We were happy about that. We trailed Drambuie, which is always a little unfortunate.
Into the final laps, Drambuie on ice. They have had a near flawless run. Look how flat that boat is running in the water.
You know, Cape Cod was the only race that I felt we could do whatever we wanted with the boat and the field. We had a good, strong boat there. We were able to stretch it out when we wanted to, and Cape Cod was probably the strongest race for us this year, for sure.
Right out into the lead. He's accepting congratulations and giving them right back to his throttleman, John Tomlinson. Two guys who have proved themselves to be at the top of their...
Fourth stop of the 2002 APBA Offshore Pro Series was Savannah, Georgia. We saw a huge celebration of race fans and powerboat action. There were also several world speed records set that weekend.
It was great running for those world speed records along the Savannah River. One of the boats that got a speed record was Speedware, battling deck to deck against Donzie Marine in the Factory 2 race. Donzie Marine, even after a couple of tough incidents on the race course, spinning out, getting themselves out of a little position, took advantage of a break on the Speedware boat for a first-place victory in Savannah.
And the series points lead.
Absolutely.
Green flag has flown and we are off with F2 racing, and right off the bat it looks like Herbot racing for a cure. Keith Herbot and Joseph Skokie have taken the lead in the F2s, but watch out. Team Donzie is right on the outside of them. They are going to try to come up in there, and they have found some power. They're going to try to nose them out.
Right now, Speedware Mako Tools on the outside. Donzie's going to dive to the inside, go right through the rooster tail. He wants the inside line as they go through the start-finish slot. Close battle for first, second, and third in Factory 2. Well, the 38 Donzie's got a little bit of advantage over the small scare of Herbot Racing. He's got to battle a little bit harder. Oh! He stuck the nose in.
There's Donzie Racing. The team Donzie went down. They apparently hit the turn wrong. They came forward. We saw that bad bounce. I wonder if they broke something loose. And Donzie is back under power.
You know, those guys hit so hard that they shut down one of their engines right in front of the start-finish line, but they're back up underway. But what a break. Herbot Racing is now in the lead because Speedware has spun out and he snapped the drive off in turn 2. And here comes Donzie right now. Although they stopped, they are in 4th place. They are running like wild men trying to get caught up to the pack.
We had a couple unfortunate mishaps. The boat got a little out of shape. He pulled it back around. I slammed the throttles back, put him back down, and rock and roll.
Donzie Marine has moved their way ahead. They've gotten by RNS Racing with Howard Richardson and Jack Storley, and now they're making a play on Total Marine Racing. And here comes Donzie coming up on the inside right now. He's found some speed. He's running in the white water. Looks like he is going to get Total Marine Racing, and there he goes. He's got Total Marine Racing. He is now in 2nd place.
Now he has his sights set on but one boat. Team Donzie has developed as the story out here. Team Donzie has gone into the lead.
It just all came together at the end there. When we went for first place, we were just praying, you know, 2 more laps, baby, 2 more laps. Come on, God, be with us.
So congratulations to Doug Valentine and Mike Stancombe. They give you a little wave off of the cockpit there, above the canopy. Do you think Mike Stancombe's a little happy with that flag?
Formula Powerboats, the associate sponsor of the APBA Factory Series and the 2001 Factory Constructors.
We go to the Super Cat class. This was the race everybody was talking about. They're still talking about it. There was a caution flag that came out that caused all kinds of controversy and speculation. There was bumping going on. There was deck-to-deck racing. Martin, what do you remember from it?
The thing I remember most about the event was the unbelievable racing we had going on. Drambuie on ice racing through the accident scene, racing to the yellow flag, which is basically what the rule book says, but it created all kinds of controversy. The battle between WHM Motorsports in the hunt. Then it turned into a battle between Drambuie on ice and Tommy Bahama with some of the best racing we've ever seen in Supercat. But it's still all tied up in a controversy now.
Green flag, and they are underway. Right off the bat, Drambuie on ice has a little bit of an advantage, but it looks like almost a nose-to-nose battle. And there's Tommy Bahama. He's trying to even it up, and on the outside of him, WHM Motorsports. Billy Moth has got the power on, and he's going to take over the lead. Now it looks like Drambuie on ice is slipping up, and again trying to take over 2nd place. As they hit the turn, he does.
Boy, did you see him push the Tommy Bahama boat out. Tommy Bahama going right in behind WHM Motorsports. Drambuie on ice went right to the inside, pushed Tommy Bahama to the outside.
Out there, Joey and Pressure actually setting the trim on the boat as the throttle. Oh! Look at the dance across the top of the water, and look at Drambuie on ice coming up on the outside.
Oh, dives right behind, underneath the rooster tail, gets wet, goes right through the rooster tail to get to the inside.
He wanted to get in there to try to have a little cleaner water, try to hold his speed up because he's going to be on the outside of the next turn. That's exactly the positioning he's got right now. He's holding that speed high. He's going a little bit wider there, just trying not to get off the throttles. It's paying off. Whoa, they danced the trampoline on ice high out of the water. Now the WHM does a dance, and now they're going to dance together.
Oh, big air. Look at how close, though. You could not put a boat between the two of those guys as they're flying side by side at 120 miles an hour in boats that, as they sit right now, weigh over 10,000 pounds. They are going right through each other's rooster tails. This is incredibly aggressive driving. Now we're back on board. Jerry Sorrentino and Joey Grotten in motion again. Super Cat Light.
Keep going. Look, tell them coming inside a little bit. Inside. Inside. I don't want to cut them off. Inside, left.
That was Joey Grotten telling Jerry Sorrentino he wanted to go inside. He's trying to slam the door on How Sweet It Is, and he came pretty close to doing it, taking the outside line, taking that line away from How Sweet It Is.
Oh, we've got a boat over.
Oh, we have a boat
has gone over. It looks like
American Racing Wheels has gone upside down on a turn. He got tied up in that traffic going through the turn.
The boats that were near the accident got the word. The yellow flag is now up on the course. The Super Cats have not encountered their first yellow yet. They are still racing hard. WHM Motorsports has led from the green flag. There's Drambuie on ice again through the rooster tail, trying to get to the outside and see if he can get that speed.
Aggressive driving. These guys going through the rooster tails like that. When you go through, you have no visibility, and then you end up taking, oh, they're going through the accident scene. There is the accident scene. Drambuie on ice dives to the inside. Now, WHM Motorsports definitely slowed down going through there. Here comes Drambuie. Oh, they hit! Drambuie on ice tags WHM Motorsports as they go by the accident scene.
So Drambuie on ice continues on. He's now getting off it. Here comes Tommy Bahama. Now the double yellow flags are up. Tommy Bahama coming up on that pace boat has passed under yellow flags. They're supposed to be side by side.
You know, the Tommy Bahama guys just weren't watching the flag. In fact, it looked like there was a lot of stuff going on as they went through that accident scene. We get to see.
We start out 10 seconds in front of everybody. We're very happy. We think we got the win. We see a double yellow. We slow down. Two other boats decide not to slow down. One of the boats decide to hit our port side, do some severe damage.
That's the kind of thing that causes more damage than you might expect. Those two boats coming together, but that wouldn't have happened if they had slowed down coming through that yellow turn like WHM Motorsports did.
Drambuie on ice managing to hold them off. Hugh Fuller and Johnny Tomlinson in the Drambuie boat. Mark and Paul Nemshaw aboard the Tommy Bahama again, clipping off the back end of the rooster tail from the Drambuie on ice. Whoa! Look at the air that they catch in Drambuie on ice. Tommy Bahama picked up the clean water and picked up the speed right along with it. So now
Tommy Bahama boat performed flawlessly in Savannah. Fortunately, there was some very close racing, but we were the only Super Cat that came out of Savannah without any boat-to-boat damage, so I felt pretty positive about that. But we had a great race with Drambuie. It was very close.
Right now, Drambuie on ice is in the lead, but I have to tell you, for Super Cat Racing, second place, Tommy Bahama is doing an unbelievable job. And again, Tommy Bahama is pulled to the inside, and they are even Steven. Now, Drambuie on ice tries to make the move and tries the outside water. He has got the lead, but can he hold on to it?
We were running 2 feet apart from one another, flying through the air, bumping a little bit every now and then, which you're really not supposed to do with these big, heavy boats.
Getting ready to go through the rooster tail again as they make their way by the leader in Super Cat Light. That was in motion. And here comes Tommy Bahama on the inside right now. He is moving side by side with Drambuie on ice.
What a battle we have. Tommy Bahama now on the inside for the advantage, was not able to get up alongside and take it away. Oh, they almost hit together. Tommy Bahama veers off just a little bit. Tommy Bahama was really coming on strong, and Drambuie on ice was cutting back into the inside. Both boats jumping high out of the water. Again, side by side. Now you can just see the Tommy Bahama boat off the right side of Drambuie. Oh, Tommy Bahama! Tommy Bahama has spun out.
Tommy Bahama driving very aggressively has spun out. They're going to turn back around here and see if they can get back in the hunt.
Meanwhile, the winner coming across with a checkered flag, Drambuie on ice in the Super Cat division, Hugh Fuller and Johnny Tomlinson. They have got to be happy. They really had to earn this one. It was not an easy ride in the park here in Savannah, Georgia for those two.
tough race, you know, and all the boats were real close. We kind of gave it up a little bit in the first turn at the start and gave room to the guys, and then right before, I guess, the second lap, we had a caution. We were able to beat WHM to the finish line, so that's where they scored. So we were able to get the pole position for the restart, which I think gave us an advantage so we can get a good run into that next turn and start to string it out. But everybody's charging hard. I'm glad there's no accidents, you know.
Double yellow comes out, Jim Bowie smashes into us. Everybody, here's the problem. Double yellow, they don't understand. That means you're supposed to stop. That don't mean you race to the double yellow. No. So they need to do something about the two of those guys.
There's one man that has a final word on the controversy. He's the chief referee, Mike Tomlinson. I had a chance to talk with him about the matter.
At Savannah, there were two rules that were breached. First was the caution flag, in which our rule is continue racing with caution, which is a little bit of an oxymoron, but it simply means that when you see a yellow flag, you start looking for a circumstance. In this case, it was an accident that was very prevalent at turn number 6. I had two boats that continued racing very hard through that accident. They were sponsored walking, they were all over the course. It was obvious they were not using caution, so a penalty was applied. The second rule, we had an infraction that two boats bumped coming out of that turn. The boat that did the bumping was also penalized for that infraction. So the rules state that whenever you're passing another boat, you must make a safe pass, and it's the responsibility of that boat to make a safe pass, which they didn't. When they hit another boat, it's not a safe pass.
It was a good race. We felt we won that one fair and square. They felt a little bit different on how we came through a corner one part of the race. It ended up us with a penalty, knocked us back to 4th. So we're disappointed in that. We clearly won that race. We worked very hard to win that race. It was a tough battle. Tommy Bahama was fast. The other boats were all good. And it was probably one of the hardest races to win this year for us and last year. It was a hard-fought victory. And to have them take it away like that was really disappointing.
Were you happy with the outcome, with the penalties that were served on Drum-Buoy on ice?
I think it could have been a little bit stiffer. Sometimes the best way to get to people is by making it so that they're not happy with what they got. 3 minute was a penalty call by Michael Allwise. Do I think it could have been a little better? Yeah, I do. But I guess I'm pretty happy with what happened. At least they did something.
That concludes our mid-season highlight show. We hope you enjoyed all the action we've brought you over the last hour. We have plenty more of racing action coming to you from Cleveland, Ohio, Corpus Christi, Texas, Grand Bahama Island for the Nationals, and Key West, Florida for the Worlds. For Martin Sanborn, I'm Jamie Little. We'll see you again next time for the next APBA Offshore Series race here on Speed Channel.
The official tool provider of the 2002 APBA Offshore Pro Series and contingency sponsor of the APBA Factory Series.